see if we had an agenda or not. If not, I might dive into a couple of items.
Yeah, no agenda today. It's going to be quite a quick one.
We never have hidden agendas anyways.
Well,
yeah.
Sometimes there's stuff written down somewhere.
It's an open source project, no hidden agenda.
That's right.
Right. Anyway, we're live now. So very quickly, it's the 10th of October. On the call, we've got Enrique, Marnie, Sophia, and Shelley, and myself.
Hello.
So yeah, as you probably heard, the agenda is rather thin. This is just to do a very quick round the call and see what everyone's been up to, and then we'll spin out from there to see if there's any pending tasks with the backlog. So Enrique, I don't know if you want to start.
I haven't been up too much actually in the Adopt. I did so the PR is still there. We didn't push it before Java 1. Didn't want to risk anything. So hopefully continue that website and hopefully push that PR now that Java 1 has passed, and make any changes necessary and talk with Martin to see what needs to be updated.
Brilliant. Okay. So yeah, I think obviously now that we're post Java 1, I think we're okay to look back and land that. Probably didn't go before. It probably just needs another round of reviews. I don't know, Marty, would you be able to just take another look at it and confirm that you're happy?
Which one is that?
The OpenJDK website PR for the new design layout. It should be on staging.
Okay, I'll play around with it, and I'll let you guys know. There is something that says PR 190. Is that the one? Is that the PR corresponding to?
I think so. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Brilliant.
What have I been doing? Actually, not much. I did work on a PR that was not a bug fix or anything like that, but it was more like changing the way we executed commands and took the results of it to do a test on it. And then there was some conversations on the back of that. And I actually have been trying to convert some of the red failing builds into passing builds. And the place I was stuck was SIG test, because it needs Java 6, 7, 8, and 9. And somebody has changed the location where all the JDKs are sitting. So the build script is failing. So I was talking to, is it Brad? Who's Bloden?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he just told me today that he's off the project. So I think I might have to pull the bull by the horn myself and try to fix the machine so that it points to the right JDK. So all I've been doing is trying to get all the builds running and green again. So far, I have not been successful because I haven't had a chance to look at them. Apart from that, I still have to look at some of the test issues that have been assigned to me. And there's one new issue come up with the question from Vincent about the file missing in the source.zip file. So I'm not sure how we're going to do that, but Tim's plan was to not modify the build script, but to provide a link to the full source code. And I don't know how we'll provide the link, whether it'll be on a README or some other place. So I need to talk to Tim and Martin about how we go about doing it. So that's where I am, basically. Not started any issues, but just looking at them.
Sure. I think from what Tim was saying to me, he was hoping to have it in a README somewhere, but I might be wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah, that might be it. A README which has a link to the Git repo that has got all the source in it.
Yeah, I think that was the plan, but I might be wrong. We'll see what Tim says next.
I think that makes more sense, because that way we don't touch the build, because the build way of providing the source is an old school way of doing it. Yeah. Now that we have Git repos, we can just point them to Git repos.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Shelley, any updates?
Yeah, I guess I also am just coming back from Java 1. So what I was doing last week was encouraging people to come and join and help us here at this project and talking about some microservices for testing. But I'll let Sophia speak to the stuff she's been doing, which has been wonderful, by the way, cleaning up the test bed. But in addition to that work, I have Terry has added some, and I need to review it, but third-party application tests. So we started with the Scala tests, and the plan is to set out a template for other third-party communities to, if they're interested in running their tests against any JDK that you guys are building, it should be easy for them to do that. And we'll run a set of them regularly, but they should also be able to download and run these Docker-based tests very easily for themselves. So that is happening. The system tests, I think you've seen some activity there as well. I think I have to get with Simon and Stuart to make sure we coordinate that effort, because they're running some of the builds that they are running their stuff directly rather than through the simple framework that we have, which is fine, except that the framework we have will allow us to grab hold of those results and manipulate them and look at them with other tools that I want to eventually bring to AdoptOpenJDK as well. So there's reasons why we want to kind of run everything from that framework. I need to produce some educational material explaining those reasons so that it's clear where we're going with that. And then finally, you've also seen some of probably the activity around the JCK testing. Simon has some stuff running. I believe that he's got an initial PR to get the automation working. Again, that stuff won't be running openly, but the check mark that says yes or no should be visible as well. So we need to figure out how we'll share with users that, you know, this particular build passed the set of JCKs that should be passing. So that's underway, but I would expect, given that there are still a number of failures, that we won't see that really running cleanly. It'll take another week or two, I'm expecting, based on what I've seen internally. But that's a test output. I know you've got done some major efforts, Sophia.
Yes, so we have we want that test build to be clean. So for the test failure, which we do not have time to debug, so we just execute them temporarily. So now I think most of the things that is done is execute the job settings on Linux and on Mac, but there's still some tests are intermittent settings. So I think in 1 or 2 days, the test build should be done.
And then we can start re-including tests as we fix the problems.
Right. Yeah. And I also think, like today, I got an email from a person in Oregon. I think that probably Shelly in Java 1 has mentioned that. Because he emailed me like he wanted to build and run the test locally, and he got that issue because they didn't update that with me.
Right.
Local
yes, okay.
And he also mentioned he'd love to like whenever settings or our finger, he'd love to contribute.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So that's great. Also, I think either Manny or yes. I did some work on that Windows to update the Windows Jenkins configuration, but I didn't get some email, so I just noticed today. So the test on Windows can run at this, but they did some problem because we updated that framework a lot recently. So some of us doesn't work on Windows, but that's expected. So we'll do update some just for Windows. So we also have another one build, which means that work in progress. So the build will work with OpenJDK now, but because we don't have enough machines, so that one is just put in the work in progress. So we enable one or two test groups. So if we have more machine, or if it's necessary to run the test against OpenJDK now, we can enable that regularly. Yes, I think, yeah, there are also some test framework has been updated to work better with, like, for the Jenkins job, we want this tester or some tester, some setup stage or build stage, there's an area we want them to navigate through as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, so you may have seen some builds, test builds hanging before. That shouldn't happen anymore. So we're working through some of those kinks, but it's looking a lot better. Thank you.
No, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. I think that's everyone else. Just very quickly myself then. So I've spent most of the time doing infrastructure stuff this week. I haven't seen Martin put a comment in the channel the other day about perhaps dropping some of the machines that he's currently funding. So we're currently sort of migrating them across. The good news is that I've got a nice big ESXi host sitting in my uni rack now, so I'm hoping that we can add some machines there. I was going to have a chat with you, Shelley, at some point about exactly what machines would make sense for you guys to use. We also have some talks with, at some point, about getting Ubuntu and, well, and generic Linux machines from them, which is obviously a massive hand as a layer 2.1 sponsor. And other than that, more exciting platform support. We are currently setting up a Spark host. So I'm hoping to at some point be able to implement an OpenStack instance on that, so that we can then look at doing some standard Solaris Spark builds. It doesn't look that complicated, especially the Oracle publishes all the package requirements to actually build it. So it's just a case of taking their list of, you know, this works now, and seeing if we can build. But I'll keep everyone updated on that. But yeah, that's been about my couple of weeks. It's not been a huge amount of work I can do today. What else really? So I guess that brings us on to basically any other agenda stuff that we might want to discuss. I don't know if anyone has anything to talk about. Okay, so Marnie, the only thing I'd quickly say to you is if you get a chance to look at the SV90 failure of the APK8, because that seems to be a bit of a problem. I'm not really sure why it suddenly stopped losing the debug mode.
I'm actually looking at it. I'm actually looking at it whilst you guys were talking, so it confuses me as well. I'm looking at the logs. It's a bit contradictory, but I'll.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely.
Yeah, it was working all this while. Something must have changed. Something must have changed at the OpenJDK level, maybe.
Okay, that's right.
I'll take a look at it, play around with it, and get it to work.
Right. Yeah. No. Okay. That's good. Right. Is there anything else that anyone else has to say? I know that Mark Lane added a few comments.
I just had a couple of questions to ask. One is it okay to have one JDK 10 build running somewhere on a Linux machine only, just for the trial, or we don't plan to do any JDK 10 work yet because there's early access builds that we can build from that?
Well, I mean, obviously we've got the repository there. We're currently mirroring it. I don't see any issue just building it, when we aren't currently using your. So yeah, I mean, if you want to play around with a quick job that runs in the morning on a time schedule, I don't know that's the end of the world. As I say, hopefully we should get into more than a post. So I think in terms of CPU resource time, it shouldn't be a problem soon.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I know Tim's very keen for us to keep our efforts focused on 8 and 9, but I don't think adding a 10 build is going to particularly make the thing as long as we're not planning to be shipping it or releasing it.
Yeah, because there has been some question from somebody who might be widely using it, and this person's like a dev advocate for an IDE company, and I think they want to play around with JDK 10 with their IDE. So maybe that's why they want like an early.
That's good. I mean, what it's just to do is just to get into. We'll make sure everyone's happy with that, and then we'll just go ahead.
Sure. The other question I had is, do we have like a target list of operating systems that we are planning to release? Like, I actually raised this about Windows Pico and Nano and Alpine and few others, but I didn't get around building them because I just didn't allocate the time. But I think it's just a matter of creating a new Ansible script, right, and then launching the instance from that, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, it depends how you want to go about building the Alpine Linux builds and stuff like that. I mean, if we're going to go down the Docker route, then it's easy. You just put config file, obviously when you add the dependencies, and you would just go through and build it that way. Whether you want actual physical Alpine machine.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right, because I could for Alpine I could use the Docker container, but for Windows Nano that would be a Windows Nano machine itself. And I think one of the sponsors is able to provide that to us because the Windows Nano machine is similar to the Windows machine we get anyways from them. But of course, I'll have to dig into that.
Is Windows Nano just an x86 base?
I think so. I'm not sure entirely.
I mean, worst case scenario, we can always run it on the USB driver I've got running it maybe enough. If people don't support it. So yeah, we'll sure to work that out.
But how do you provision a host and make it available so that you can make the build scripts point to it? Do you have some Terraform or Ansible scripts that create them and make them available?
Yeah, so all the Ansible scripts for our hosts at the moment are in OpenJDK. It's not a complete list. There are a few that have probably got behind. But that's probably the task I do and just go back through and bring any up to date that aren't already up to date.
Yeah, so my suggestion was only going to be maybe we have a Git issue or some sort of a thing that we put in the target operating systems, even though we are not going to be attacking it now, but at least we know that these are, and if new ones come in, like I also wanted to do it on Atomic Host, for example. Yeah, that's a good one because people will put JDKs on Atomic Host. So it's good to build it on it as well. So if we have like a scratch sheet where we can keep adding operating systems that are relevant, and then maybe operating systems that are not relevant, and then put a note against it saying we're never going to build on this, then that'll be a good one to chase. And then eventually someone like myself or yourself can pick up one of those and build a machine and keep it ready.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, probably the obvious place to pull that issue is OpenJDK infrastructure.
Yeah, okay. Let me start the issue and then link it up with everything else here, and then we can have a conversation on that. That was the only question I had.
Brilliant. Anyone else have any other questions? Okay, all right. Well, that's I think everything, unless anyone else has any final comments.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, no, I think that's everything. Brilliant. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining again.
No worries.
As I just said earlier, we're going to try and have these slightly more regular than before. Maybe once every 2 weeks, or maybe even once a week. So I'll try and get a formal invite system set up at some point.
Cool.
Perfect. Nice talking to you all. Talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Alright.
likewise. Bye bye.
Okay, then.